Welcome to another episode of 15 ideogram prompts. Again, we've got a bunch of POD-centric prompts. Most of them are suitable for t-shirt design, and I've also got quite a few in here that'll help you out if you're wanting to create designs for Halloween and get ready ahead of time. Prompt number one is super straightforward and easy to use, and it's very suitable for Halloween. So we've got a cute watercolor painting of a sweet cat ghost with flowers on the bottom of the cat ghost. So essentially you've got two words right here that you've got to exchange. You can literally just swap out cat for different animals or different subjects, and then you should get similar graphics to this. Very popular style for Halloween. This is a magic prompt, so we got a bit of a different result right here. Still looks cool and still usable for Halloween t-shirts, but this type of style is quite popular. So definitely check out this prompt. As usual, all of them will be linked in the description. Prompt number two features a skeleton drinking coffee. Skeletons, again, very popular niche leading up to Halloween. And here we've got a bit of a longer prompt, but you can still amend it to feature different phrases, of course. In this case, we've got mentally ill but totally chill. But was repeated here, but it's easy to remove one of the two words. In some cases it didn't actually spell out but as you can see, the actual layout and the type of graphics are very suitable and applicable to print on demand. So this is a prompt worth testing out, and I'm also quite surprised that the hands look fairly decent on this skeleton in most of the results. You'd think that it would struggle with the fingers a little bit, but no, it looks fairly realistic. So this looks like a decent prompt to test out. If you're just looking to create some evergreen designs, then here is a great go-to. We've got Life is Better on a Hydra foil. The interesting thing here is the style of graphic, I would say. I don't know if the silhouette is necessarily accurate to a Hydra foil, but I also don't know what that is, to be honest. I wouldn't have thought someone is holding a board whilst standing on a board. Nevertheless, you can see that these vintage sunsets look pretty cool. The text, the layout, the style, everything looks very POD. It's a fairly simple prompt as well. You can exchange right here a person on a Hydra foil, and then you can also change the text at the top. Life is better, right? And then separately at the bottom there is the text on a Hydra foil underneath. So you have to kind of change three different points right here in the prompt to amend it, make it applicable to a different niche with a different phrase. But generally this does look like a really cool result that would be very suitable for t-shirt design. Next up, we've got a text-based design. It says, "Thank you for the good vibes," and I really love, first of all, the font, the sort of 3D effect, and the fact that it is very clearly surrounded by flowers with a fairly clear outline. So it's easy to remove the background, but it's a very striking summary graphic. And all of these results look pretty decent. It's kind of that groovy font, which is very popular. So right here we've got the full prompt. It's quite long, but you can change out the words quite easily, and you will notice that these all have magic prompts going as well. However, the results do look similar at the end. So yeah, play around with this, apply some different phrases, and I hope it can help you create some nice designs. Also take note that this is in a tall format. Oftentimes that seems to help with getting decent results, and this would still very well fit onto sort of a t-shirt size for the print area. So sometimes it might be worth playing around rather than just using the square, also testing a sort of taller image that is in more of a portrait format. Next up, here we've got a set of Halloween silhouettes, and these would be perfect to use as sort of decorative elements within your designs. Now, not all of these silhouettes look perfect, like this one's a bit strange, for example, but the pumpkin, could definitely see that working. We've got quite a decent looking ghost up here, some bats as well. So the thing with these sets is not all of the graphics will be necessarily usable, like this owl is kind of strange, but some of them will be cool. Notice how we've got a very simple prompt and then this long magic prompt which actually created these plain and simple silhouettes. So always bear that in mind. If you want a result as close as possible to this, use the magic prompt instead. Then we've also got a different magic prompt right here with a very different style, but also some cool results. Like some of these ghosts definitely look usable. The pumpkins did get messed up. We've got one pumpkin that's somewhat nicer looking, a few skeletons down here, This bat perhaps is usable, another cool looking ghost. What about the other graphics? Bit strange, this ghost might be okay. So it's a bit hit and miss sometimes. Some of the graphics you'll be able to use, some of them not. But if you're generating a set, that'll give you a lot of choice to pick from. Here we don't have a magic prompt and it does look quite terrible. So in this case, I think it'd be best if you copy one of these results right here if you want a choice of nice looking graphics for your designs. Now, when it comes to Halloween, one very popular topic or sort of sub-niche is different drinks or beverages that people like to consume around the holiday. Here we've got an example graphic or an example prompt that can help you out with creating those. Some of them are a bit hit and miss, don't get me wrong, but for the most part, these cups and the pumpkin, etc., they all look pretty nice. They have that sort of simplistic cartoon style that can work very well on t-shirts and stickers, other POD applications, and they're also very well isolated. It means it's easy to remove the background, and with this sort of graphic I would also try a vectorizer because it's a very flat design, there's no gradients, you know, a minimal amount of colors. So in this case, vectorizing might give you a better result than using an upscaler. So that's definitely worth testing. Bit of a longer prompt, but as you can see, it gives quite consistently good results. Now, amongst all of the political trends that are constantly emerging in the POD space right now, I thought I'd recommend a quick prompt, again, that features the American flag, just in case you want to kind of target those niches yourself. In this case, I would recommend using the magic prompt from this result because the other results right here don't look the greatest, at least not for POD. But this is a cool one, and you can easily swap out the word America right here and kind of use some other trending phrases that are going around at the moment. Trending phrases, trending words, whatever you want to test out. And yeah, I mean, this is not the only option you've got. I've also, in the previous episodes of 15 ideograms, I've got a bunch of options with American flags. Most of those were intended for July the 4th, but of course you can also use them for political niches. So bear that in mind if you want to target those. There is more prompts that I've shared in the past. Now, if you're after some very simple, straightforward graphics without a lot of detail and still some nice color schemes, then this is a very good prompt for you. It's super simple and straightforward, and as you can see, the results, this one's not really my favorite, but this is a cool result, really cool style right here. And again, it's the same simple prompt, and this sort of fourth result right here also quite neat. So yeah, very simple, very straightforward. But if you want this kind of more emblemy, like logo-ish style for a more simple graphic, maybe for stickers as well, then test out this prompt. It is linked down below. Now, this next prompt is not necessarily going to work for every niche or every topic, but if you need a very striking text-based design with a very interesting looking 3D effect, then you might want to test this one out. All of these results right here have a very long base prompt, but then also some very long magic prompts. So ideally you want to go after the magic prompt. It's a tall format, again, just text-based, but it is highly decorated in a very intriguing style. So yeah, test it out if you like text-based designs. This one's definitely out there and should stand out in search results. Now, one topic that does really well in print on demand leading up to October is Oktoberfest. And here is a quick pretzel graphic design that you can use or create with this prompt, but it's also a general reminder to take a look at the Oktoberfest niche. The pretzel, being a traditional item of food in Germany, is kind of a common or popular sub-niche for Oktoberfest. And we're back to the Halloween sets. This is a bit of a different style to what we had before. Looks a bit more childish, but if that's the sort of niches you want to go after, here you've got some decorative elements for your kids' designs for Halloween. Again, not all of these look great, I'm not going to lie. This ghost in the top left corner looks pretty neat. This pumpkin as well, I can see that being useful. Some of the other results turned out better. Like here we've got a really cool looking pumpkin in this. A few pumpkins actually that look decent. Some of these graphics seem a bit random. I also noticed some Christmas hats. I don't know where they're coming from, but oh, we've got diverse range of Christmas themed worksheets at the bottom as well. That's why you're going to get a mixture. That makes sense. I didn't realize because the first one, the cover right here, actually looks like it's plain Halloween graphics. But yeah, as you can see, got a bunch of different results. Only the cover has got a magic prompt applied, so if you wanted something similar to these results, copy the base prompt right here. If you want something more like this, then copy the magic prompt at the bottom. And here we've got a style that Ideogram is really good at, and that is watercolor illustrations. I always find really amazing results that are not just cool in their style, but also still very usable for print on demand, which is usually not the case with watercolor. So here we've got this bunny reading a book. It's still easy to cut out the background, or easy enough. It's fairly well isolated, and we've used a magic prompt to get this result, whereas the other results for this prompt were with the use of just a base prompt, right? I do think the magic prompt looks the nicest, but it's also more detailed. So if you want a more simple result, the base prompt might be best for you. And obviously rabbits, you might think this is more of an Easter topic, but that's the thing with these prompts, right? You can amend them to whatever niche you're after. If you want a different animal reading a book, then just swap out all of the instances of bunny and rabbits with another animal, right? There's not that many right here. You could just hit Control F. You type in bunny, there you can see there's 2 instances of that. Rabbit is only there once, and just quickly glance through, make sure there's no other references of this animal, and then you can apply this to another niche as well if you're not wanting to go after rabbits. This is mainly about the style of design, the style of graphic and the layout, but you can still change the prompts and use them for other purposes. Here we've got another prompt with a groovy font, which I think Ideogram does pretty well. Most of these results look, I don't like this result to be honest, but most of the other results look pretty cool. They definitely suit the hippie style right here, which is described in the prompt. And yeah, the base prompt results look a lot better than this magic prompt. This definitely turned it into like a horrible style. But yeah, as you can see, espresso yourself, it's spelled correctly here. Here we have one additional U, which you could probably still get away with, but yeah, it's easy enough to fix. And again, you can amend the prompt if you don't want like a hippie girl. You could have a different subject in the middle, but you can still kind of use the same feel and the same keywords right here for the text, for the font style. And yeah, create some cool t-shirt design graphics. I could definitely see this sort of thing working on a t-shirt. Definitely suits the hippie niche, but it is not limited to that. This groovy font is popular amongst many different niches. And if you're looking for more of a unique style, then here we have a very unique prompt that gives you this sort of mosaic style on a simple silhouette. So in this example, we've got it with a white dove. Some of the results look better than others. Like I really like this one on the cover image. I'm not sure about this result, but this is a magic prompt, as you can see, whereas the cover and this one are the base prompt. So I'd focus on that, and you should get some decent results. Again, you can do this with other animals, with other topics in general. But yeah, it should definitely help you create some unique designs that stand out from the crowd. Really cool looking style, and yeah, it is worth testing. And lastly, here we've got a prompt that's probably more suitable for something like poster design. It's definitely got a lot of depth to it. It's got this shadow at the bottom as well, which I wouldn't really go with for a t-shirt. However, I thought this cat being mashed up with the city right here creates a really cool effect. We've generally had a lot of, well, I see a lot of prompts and results on Ideogram that have animals mixed up with nature, landscape scenes, or cities, as you can see in this case. But this was more of an original style that I hadn't seen yet, so I thought I'd share this with you as well. Test it out if you're designing posters. Maybe you can create something cool right here that will get you some sales on sites like Displate. Make sure to check out this video next for the best new upscaling method for your AI artwork.